welcome again to Sonoran Scale Studios, place for all things RC. Today we are out in Hidden Valley, testing out the Redcat Gen 8 V2 in some real world environment. When Redcat first introduced the Gen 8, it had a few problems out of the box, but they've really addressed those. And I feel after some initial use and initial first impressions that really they did a good job of ironing out the issues that existed, and there aren't that many glaring problems that remain. Honestly, anything that I would consider a shortcoming or a downfall would be something that should be expected to be kind of an inherent trait of a truck with such a tall body. You're getting a fantastic scale Scout 2 body. The trade-off is it's very tall. It is a fender-on-fender mounting system. You cannot adjust the body height, and that puts a lot of weight up high, which is not ideal if you are somebody that wants to primarily crawl. However, if you're somebody that wants to do a nice mix of scale, trail, and some rock crawling, the Redcat Gen 8 V2 just might be the truck for you. So this Gen 8 V2 is primarily stock. The only real changes made were weight added to the wheels, and the stock Interco Super Swampers were swapped out for some high racks, simply because of the terrain that I run in. I am running on a 2S shorty pack. Interesting note is the battery tray does have a notched area that will allow you to use a shorty pack and have it ride just a little bit lower to lower your center of gravity a little bit more by a few millimeters. I would say the biggest difference that I noticed was going from a full-size battery pack, whether it be 2S or 3S, down to a shorty pack. In this case, I'm running a 1500 milliamp 2S pack, and that weight reduction is very noticeable, as this suffers already from high weight from the body. It's a big body, it sits high, as we already went over. You're adding to it with a battery that is mid-mounted. I would like to see a battery forward-mounted, but that would require some customization or modification down the road. As it comes out of the box with the stock battery tray, I would recommend going with a shorty pack. I find that on the trail, the stock electronics are more than adequate. More than enough power, ample low speed control. It is a little punchy for my taste. My own personal preference. Down the road, I think I will upgrade this to a 1080 ESC, simply because, one, they're silent, two, the flexibility and programmability. However, this stock hexfly that comes with it is really not a bad ESC motor combo. As I said, if you are a more trail-oriented user, which I believe this is more suited for trail use than it is as a standalone or dedicated crawler, then that extra top-end speed, it is handy. You know, when you're moving from obstacle to obstacle on a trail, it's nice to not have to be waiting on your truck. However, from my personal preference, it's just got a little bit more than I feel it needs. I'd like to see more of that power transition to the low end in a slow, controlled sense rather than in that top end. One area in particular where I find that this Redcat model really hit the nail on the head, really hit it out of the park here, was on the ground clearance. The ground clearance on this thing is massive. I will say that it performs incredibly well going over just uneven, rocky terrain. It might actually do so as good or better than any other rig that I have. When it comes to flat out rock crawling, I would say that it is mediocre. It's pretty decent. It's far from the worst. But that body and that high end weight do hinder it a lot. However, its articulation and actuation of its suspension is just beautiful to watch. You can really get some scale realism, and it is very capable if you're patient with it and pick your lines correctly. So to summarize, in mid-2021, if I were asked if the Redcat Gen 8 V2 is worth its MSRP of $299, I would simply say yes, it is. If you are looking for a dedicated rock crawler, you might want to look at some other options. But if you're looking for a do-it-all rig, or perhaps you're looking to get into crawling, you're looking to get into the scale side of things, the scale trail, scale crawling, rock bouncing, what have you. If you're looking to get out of bashing or transition and expand from, say, using bashers or road racing or even track racing into some leisurely fun activity of scale trail crawling, and you're looking for something that will not leave you disappointed, leave you wanting more, or leave you with buyer's remorse, I would say definitely give the Redcat Gen 8 V2 a look. It should be way up on your list with perhaps, say, a TRX4 Sport, perhaps an Axial SCX10. However, with both of those, you are going up in price, and you're going to go up considerably depending on which model you go with. So check out the Redcat Gen 8 V2.